Alright, 6. Awarding administrative information. Award notice. All award notification will be posted to the ETA homepage. The Department of Labor, the Gov, the agency, ETA for the applicant, select for the award, for the contact, the direct for the grant's execution, non select for the applicants, will be notified by mail, email, may. Request written debriefing the significant weakness of their application, selection of the organization. The recipient does not constitute the proof of the grant application submitted, but before the actual grant is awarded, we may enter the negotiations about such items as the program component, staff, and the funding level of the administrative system in place to support grant implementation. If negotiations do not result in mutually acceptable submission of the grant officer preserve the right to terminate with the negotiation decline with the fund application. We reserve the right not to fund any application related with the funding announcement after an announcement. Be administrative of the national policy requirement. Administrative program requirements. All grants will subject to the applicable federal law of regulations, including office management, budget, uniform guidance for the term and conditions of the award. Grantee awarded under the funding announcement will be subject to following with administrative standard of the provision, nonprofit organization, educational institution for profit, and either state and local Indian tribal government, the Title II, CFR Part 2, and uniform administrative requirements, cost, principal, audit requirements of federal awards. 2 CFR Part 2900, Department of Labor Supplemental, Title 2 CFR Part 200. All entities must comply with the Title 2, 29 CFR Part 93, new restriction of lobbying, Title 29 Part 94, government-wide requirements of drug-free workplace financial assistance, Title 2 Part 180, office management guidance, agency government-wide department suspension on procurement where applicable to Title 2 CFR Part 200, audit requirements. Section 3, Title 1, CFR Part 2, Subpart D, Equal Treatment of the Department of Labor Program for the Religious Organization Protection of Religious Liberty, Department of Labor Social Service Providers and Beneficiaries. 4, Title 29, Part 31, Non-Discrimination, Federal Assistance Programs of the Department of Labor, Effectuation of the Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Title 29 CFR Part 32, the non-discrimination basis for the handicapped and programs of the activity to receive the federal financial assistance. 6. Title 29 Part 35, non-discrimination based age of the programs activity to receive the federal financial assistance from the Department of Labor. 7. Title 29 Part 36, the non-discrimination based of the sex of the education programs activity receiving federal financial assistance. 8. Title 29 Part 38, implementation of non-discrimination equal opportunity provision workforce initiative, the Opportunity Act. 9. Title 29 Part 29 and 30, labor standard with the registration apprenticeship program, equal opportunity act, and apprenticeship training is applicable. 10. The Department of Labor will follow the procedure outlined in the Department of Freedom of Information Act Regulation Title 29 CFR Part 7. The Department of Labor receives federal funding Freedom of Information Act request for your request. Receive the Department of Labor FOIA regulations responding to requests for commercial business information submitted to the government will be followed as well with the FOIA exemption and procedures. See generally Title 5 U.S. Standard Code 552, Title 29 Part CFR Part 70. Alright, 11. Standard grant terms, conditions, and awards. See the following link: the Department of Labor Agency, ETA grants and resources. 2. The other legal requirements of religious activity with the Department of Notice the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, Title 40 U.S. Standard Code 2000 BB applies to all federal law and implementation. If an application organization is faith-based organization may bring the higher decision on the basis of the religious belief that may be entitled to receive the federal financial assistance of the grant solicitation maintained with the hiring practice statement Title 29 2.32a. Religious organizations are eligible on the same basis that any other organization seeking the Department of Labor support for the participate of the Department of Labor programs for which they are otherwise eligible. Grants of the Department of Labor is found with the Department of Labor.gov, the agency OASA, Sam Graham, Religious Freedom Restoration Act guidance. B. Lobbying, fundraising, U.S. government of the federal funds in accordance with Section 18 of the Lobbying Disclosure Act of 1995, the Public Law 10465, Title U.S. Standard Code 1611, the nonprofit entities incorporated with the Internal Revenue Service Code of the Section 501c4 with engaging in lobbying activities not eligible to receive federal funds and grants. No activity including awareness raising with advocacies with activities may include with the fundraising for lobbying for the U.S. federal, state, and local governments or see Title II, Part 200, 450 for more information. Transparency Act requirement. You must ensure you have the necessary process system to place. Comply with the reporting requirements of federal funding and accountability. Transparency Act of the 2000s, Public Law 109-282 that is amendment with the government funding. Transparency Act of the 2008, Public Law 110-252. Title 6, Chapter 2, Section 6202 is followed, except for those except with the Transparency Act, so paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 below, to ensure that the necessary process of the system in place with comply with the scope of award, executive total compensation reporting requirement. The Transparency Act should receive the funding. Upon award, will receive the detailed information reporting requirements for the Transparency Act described in Title 2, Part 170, Appendix A, which can be found with the grant gov.info.gov content packet CFR 2021, Title 1, Volume 1, PDF CFR 2021. Title 2, Volume 1, Part 170, Appendix A. Following type of awards are not subject to Federal Funding, Accountability, and Transparency Act. Federal awards individuals who apply to receive federal awards and as a natural person unrelated to any business, nonprofit organization he or she may own or operate in his or her name. 2 federal awards to entities that have a gross income from all sources or less than $300,000 at any previous tax year. Federal awards, if the required reporting would disclose classified information. D. Safeguarding data, including personal identifiable information. Applicants submitting an application responsible for funding opportunity announcement recognize the confidential and personal identifiable information or other sensitive data of the paramount importance. The Department of Labor must specifically expect with the disclosure as allowed with the prior written approval of the grant officer or by court order by submitting an application. You are assuring all data exchanges conducted through during the course of the performance of the grant will be conducted in America consistent with applicable federal law. The Training Employment Guidance Letter 3911 issued in June 28, 2012. All such activity conducted with the ETA with the recipients will be performed in America consistent with the applicable federal, state, and federal laws. By submitting a grant application, you agree to take all the necessary steps to protect the confidential, comply with the following provisions applicable in governing handling with the confidential information. Here, the personal identifiable information sensitive to data developed, obtained, and otherwise associated with the Department of Labor Employee Training Administration funding grant and securely transmitted. Sure that the personal identifiable information is not transmitted to unauthorized users. All personal identifiable information or other sensitive data transmitted via the email stored on CD, DVDs, thumb drives, etc. must be encrypted due to the Federal Information Processing Standards 142 for the complaint and National Institute of Technology validated the cryptographic module. You must not entail with email the unencrypted sensitive the personal identification number to any entity, including ETA or contractors. You must take the steps necessary to ensure the privacy of the personal identification information obtained from the participant and other individuals to protect such information from the unauthorized disclosure. You must maintain this personal identification information in accordance with the ETA with the information security described in the Training Employment Guidance Letter number 3911, and any update for the charge for the standards will provide you with the grantee of the wish to obtain more information from the data security should get contact with the Federal Project Office. You must ensure the personal identifying information using during the performance of the grant has been obtained with conformity with the applicable federal state laws governing the confidential information. Your further acknowledgement of the personal identification data obtained through the Employment Training Administration grant must be stored in the area of the physical safety of the access to the unauthorized personnel. At all times, data will be processed and recipient issued equipment to manage information technology. Several designated locations approved with the ETA with the accessing, processing, storing ETA grant and personal identification number. The data is personal or on personally owned equipment at off-site locations, employer's home, and non-recipient managed IT server that the Yahoo Mail is strictly prohibited unless for the proof of the ETA. 5. Your employees or other personnel who have access to the confidential priority private data that have been advised in confidential nature of the information safeguard required to protect the information that are civil and criminal sanctions for non-compliance with the safeguards that are contained in federal and state laws. 6. You must have the policy procedures in place over the employee with the other person will perform the grant and access the personal identification and acknowledgement of their understanding of the confidential nature of the data with the safeguards from which must comply with the handling of such data as well with the fact that it may be liable to civil and criminal sanctions for the improper discharge. 7. You must extract the information from the data that supplied with the ETA for any purpose not stated in the grant agreement. Not access for the personal identification created by the ETA grant may be restricted only to those employed with the grant recipient, even the official capacity to perform the duties in connection with the scope of the work of the grant agreement. All personal identification data must be processed in a manner that will protect the confidentiality of the record. Recorded documents designed to prevent an unauthorized person from retrieving and shoving the records of the computer, remote terminal, any other means of the data may be downloaded and maintained on mobile portable devices only if the data are encrypted through the NIST valid software products based on the FIPS 142 with encryption. In addition, with the data which data may be accessible only with a secure location. Personal identification and information data obtained with the recipient through the request for the ETA must not be disclosed to anyone but the individual requester except as permitted by the grant officer or by a court order. Section 11, you permit the ETA to make sure on-site inspections during the regular business hours of the proposal of the conducting audit, of conducting other investigations to ensure that you are complying with the confidential requirements of the described above. In accordance with the responsibility, you must make the records applicable to this agreement available to the authorized personnel for the purpose of the inspection, review, and or audit. 12, you must retain the data received with the ETA if they only appear with the time required to use for the assessment other purposes satisfiable as applicable federal records retention requirements. If any of thereby you agree that all the data will be destroyed, including decausing the magnetic tapes and deleting the electronic data. Record retention. Must review the following federal guidelines on record retention, which require all maintain all the records pertaining to the grant activity period of at least 3 years from the date of the submission. Final expenditure report with the Title II, Part 200, 333 through 337. For more specific information, including information about the start and the record retention periods for the award with renewed quarterly and annually, with when the records must be retained for more than 3 years. For use of the contract and subawards, you must abide with the following definition: contract, contractor, subaward, and subrecipient. Contract means the legal instrument with the non-federal government defined as the state, local government, Indian, tribal institution, higher education, non-profit, organization for profit, entity, foreign public entity with the foreign organization that carries out with the federal award with the recipient. Subrecipient purchase property for the purposes needed to carry out a project for the program under the federal award. The department determine use of the funding and opportunity announcement if it includes the legal instrument, even if the non-federal entity can serve it in the contract. One, the substance of the transaction, leave the definition of federal award and subaward, definition subaward below. Contractor means any of the receiver of the contract is defined above in the contract. The subaward means the award provided with the pass-through entity defined for the non-federal entity that provides the subaward. Subrecipient can carry out the part of the federal program to a subrecipient to carry out the part of the federal award received by the pass-through entity. It does include the payments for the contractor payment to an individual with the beneficiary of federal program. Subaward may be provided through any form of legal agreement, including any agreement that pass-through entity that can serve the contract. Alright, subrecipients being the non-federal entity that receive the subaward for the pass-through with any carry over the federal program. It does not include any individual with the beneficiary of the program. Subrecipients may also the recipient of the other federal awards directly with the federal awarding agency. Must follow the provision Title II, 200, 330 through 332 with regarding subrecipient monitoring management. LC Title II, CFR Part 200, 308, C6 regarding prior approval of the requirements for subawards. Awarding subawards require they comply with the provisions on the government-wide suspension department found in Title II, CFR Part 180, codified in Part 2, CFR Part 22998. Closeout and grant awards. G. Any of the receiving the award with the announcement must close with the grant and with the ETA at the end of the final year of the grant. The information with the process may be found with the ETA of the grant. Closeout frequently asked question located at the Department of Labor, the Gov. State Department of Labor, Gov. File ETA grants PDF. The grant closeout FAQs PDF. 3. Other administrative standard provisions specifically provide with the funding opportunity or acceptance for the application of award federal funds to sponsor any of the agreement that does not provide a waiver for any of the grant requirements for the procedure. For example, the Office of Management Budget Uniform Guidance requires that even the procurement procedure for the ensure all procurement transactions are conducted as much as practical, provide full option competition. Applicant identified with the specific entity to provide goods and services. The award does not provide with justification based on sole source procurement and avoid competition. Special program requirements for the Employment Training Administration evaluation condition of the grant and grantors if required participate in evaluation. If they undertake the Department of Labor evaluation may include the implementation and assessment across grantees impact outcomes analysis, all selected sites within across the grantees a benefit cost analysis assessment with return on investment, conducting an impact analysis could involve the random assignment, which involve the random assignment over the eligible participants in the treatment of the program, or into a treatment group that would receive the program services, enhanced program services into the group control group that would receive no program services or program services that are not enhanced. You may require applicants to collect data elements to aid the evaluation as part of the evaluation conduct. Additionally, the award grantees must agree to 1. Make the records available to the evaluation contract with the participant and employer's finding. 2. Provide access to the program operational personal participation, operational financial records, any other relevant document, calculate the program costs and benefits. 3. In case of the impact analysis, facilitate assignment by lottery and participant in program services, include possible increase in recruitment and potential participant. And 4. Follow evaluation procedures specified by evaluation contractor under the direction of the Department of Labor. Alright, B. Performance goals. Please note that the applicant will be held for the outcomes provided. Failure to meet these outcomes may result in technical assistance, other intervention from the Employment Training Administration may also have a significant impact on the decision of future grants with the Employment Training Administration. Alright, C. You must meet the Department of Labor reporting requirements. Specifically, you must submit the reports of the documents listed below with the Department of Labor electronically. 1. Quarterly financial report status. Quarterly financial reports of the quarterly financial status report ATA 9130 to run until such time all the funds will be expended with the grant period. The quarterly review to due for the 15th day of the second month of each of the calendar year quarter. Financial statement and reports. You must include the sum of award amounts when calculate the final indirect cost for the if applicable amounts for the the Department of Labor online electronic reporting so that the information instruction will be provided on the grantee for the other guidance for the Employment Training Administration financial reporting reference to Training Employment Guidance Letter 2019 and our webpage Department of Labor Gov, the agency the ETA Grants Management Reporting. 2. Quarterly performance report for the grant may submit the quarterly performance report for the 15th day of the second of the month after each of the calendar year quarter of the report must include the quarterly information for the determined indicator of the performance goal for the last quarterly progress report will serve as the grantor final performance report. The report must provide the quarterly cumulative of the information on the grant performance submission requirements that will provide the grantees upon award will also provide you with the guidance of the data for the other information that is required to be collected with the report on each of the regular basis special request basis. Accountability structure and performance reporting. Each grant strategy specifically corresponding outcomes include shared outcomes that apply with all applicants under the cross-cutting principles articulated above. Employment Training Administration will collect equity-related metrics for all merit apprenticeship building America Ground 2 grants according with the ETA Office Management Budget approved the Department of Labor. Performance reporting requirements for the apprenticeship grant. This includes the data element that require the demographic information, enrollment in pre-apprenticeship of the registered apprenticeship program, completion of the pre-apprenticeship registered apprenticeship program, credential attainment with the related to training activity. The grantees' outcome data will be reported in the Employer Training Administration WIPS reporting system. In addition with the data reported in Rapids and as appropriate. 3. Quality narrative performance report. It's an initial quality performance report for the grantee must submit the joint quarterly narrative performance report template ETA 9179 progress report for the 15th day within the second month of each for the calendar year for the quarter. During the grant is within the period performance for award for the report is included with the quarterly information regarding accomplishment, including project success stories, upcoming grant activity promising with approach and profit as well for the process toward performance outcomes, including update for the product and curricular training development. For grants awarded under Category 1, ensuring equitable registered apprenticeship program pathways, partnership with the pre-apprenticeship, leading of the registered apprenticeship enrollment to Category 2, creation of education system aligned with the pre-apprenticeship program, registered apprenticeship program, where to smart quarterly progress reports containing update for the implementation progress, specifying the grant statement for the work status for the grant and program outcomes. All participants receive the grant fund services as described above. These grants will align with the Workforce Initiative Opportunity Act performance reports by requirements. Department of Labor will provide grantees with the access to the online reporting system WIPS, along with the formal guidance and the technical assistance for the data collection and reporting. The grantee must submit the quarterly performance report 45 days after each of the end of the quarterly year for the report, include the quality performance report, which is the quantitative of the report all the participants served throughout the grant program. The quality performance report is quarterly with the aggregated with the individual participant record for the grantee that has collected uploaded the data file into the WIPS. In order to submit the quarterly report for the grant, will be expected to track with the report on certain participant level data for the ETA, including Social Security number that on all individuals provide with the grant fund services. Social Security number information allowed with the ETA to effectively match employment data from state unemployment and insurance for the other wage records. This collection of the participation Social Security number to lessen the burden of the grantee with the tracking exit-based employment measures, Workforce Initiative Opportunity Act primary indicators of performance while permitting consistent reliability outcome information produced regarding the program. Applicants must review the current office management budget, approve reporting requirements that will apply to these grants. Office Management Budget Control Number 12050521. 7. The agency's contact.